baseball correspondents from Boston and Oakland, from Boston to Oakland, as we get you ready for the 2017 baseball season. Today, we start out in St. Louis as Jake Krebs joins us to talk about the Cardinals.
Also, in our Did You Hear About segment, we'll talk about a youth bowling team from Canada that was disqualified after winning a tournament because of the color of someone's pants. And we're also looking at the minor league Staten Island Yankees really changing their name to the Pizza Rats.
Sounds good to me.
Does it?
Best Hour of Sports Week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
Inravio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, March 11th, 2017, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend, Bruce Oler. And you are joining us. Anthony Bizzallo and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Inravio TV network, where we stream live from Studio C, right here in the great state of New York. It is
a chilly island.
You know what? I really hate the cold weather.
Yeah.
I know I've said that a number of times.
And you were in Florida last week.
Oh, my God.
And it was 88 degrees, huh?
It was so nice in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could actually live there during like all year round, but I think I think I'm going to be a snowbird.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. Can we broadcast live from Florida if we have to?
Moving the studio. And, and earlier in the week, just like a couple of weeks ago when we got snow, it was like 70 degrees or 65 degrees or something. It's crazy. I have the fear, though, that the baseball season, which we'll talk about a lot over the next few weeks, is that some of those games are going to be played in some pretty cold conditions.
Right.
When is opening day anyway? It's like the first week of April?
Opening day is the first week of April this year. It's not, I think last year they started March 29th
so that's,
or something.
what, about 3 weeks away is what we're looking at?
But we do have we're moving the clocks. We're springing forward this weekend.
Yep.
So we get, everybody says you get an extra hour of light.
Yeah.
You don't really get an extra hour of light.
Yeah. We're recalibrating.
Recalibrating.
That's right. I mean, I think that's the right term, man,
Yeah, but Florida is warm. But you know how like it's normally very, very humid and stuff down there?
Yeah.
We got down there, it was nice weather. It was really, really nice weather. We went to Universal Studios.
Well, like you say, in the summertime, it's it's very humid and there's a lot of.
I can't imagine what it must be like in August there.
Yeah.
Although I guess when we talk to somebody from Miami today,
no?
he's not answering yet. Okay. So maybe we when we get to talk to Stu Schiffman. And in Miami, we can find out how he lives with the summer in Miami. I can't even imagine. But then again, maybe he gets to wear shorts to work.
I can never hear the city of Miami without thinking of that Martin Mull song.
Which one?
Am I in Miami?
I don't know. I kind of think whenever I see Miami now, I think of the Birdcage, the movie. The movie.
Lots of different things there.
But one of the you call it like a bucket list type thing. I went into Moe's Tavern and had a flaming Moe.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that, and you sounded pretty excited about it. I guess I had asked you what it was like, and you said it tasted like Tang. Huh?
It tasted like Tang.
And it's non-alcoholic?
It was non-alcoholic, but it was smoking.
I was going to say, what makes it flaming?
Well, they put this thing in it, and it kind of looks like it looks like dry ice, but obviously it can't be dry ice because you would
Yeah.
get poisoned.
Yeah.
So it's some sort of dry ice. And I asked the girl, and she said she can't tell me what
It's
it
a
is.
secret. Yeah, it's a secret, right? It's proprietary information.
But
It's
I
protected.
had a Krusty Burger. At
Was that
Krusty
any good?
Burger, it was a hamburger.
Oh yeah. How much was it? Was it cheap or was it expensive?
They were, whatever it was,
Yeah.
say you're on vacation.
Yeah.
They're definitely overcharging you for it. But I had that. Oh, and then I had, of course, I had to have a couple of Duff beers. So I went to Duff Gardens and I had a couple of Duff beers.
Sounds like you were living a dream, man.
Well, I have to tell you, we were talking about how, like, when you go on vacation with your children,
Yeah.
it's a very different experience than when you go. Like, I remember going to Epcot with my kids, and they hated Epcot
Yeah.
because Epcot was. They said it was like going to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when we went to Epcot on our own without the children a couple of years ago, we went to like the World
Headed
Expo.
right to Germany for the beer.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
you
we
know.
had a beer in every country. And by the time we got to Canada,
Yeah.
the Molson's was the last thing we had. But Universal Studios is geared more towards adults because everywhere you go in Universal, you could buy a drink. They have drinks everywhere. Every attraction has some sort of a drink. When we went to the Harry Potter thing, right?
Yeah.
And they had fire whiskey.
Fire whiskey, yeah.
It's really good. You know what I mean? It just it's geared more towards adults.
I see.
But anyway,
So you started your new job.
yes, my new job with All Scripts out at Northwell.
And you got stuck on an elevator with your boss
Yes,
for an
which was-
extended period of time.
It was a wonderfully pleasant experience.
Well,
Well, I have to tell you, have you ever been stuck in an elevator ever?
never.
Well, I usually avoid elevators when something seems a little off.
Yeah.
Like if the door starts to close and then reopen, I always just get out because I have a claustrophobia. I get, But this one, the elevator it was just me and him, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
And the elevator just like kind of went down for a second, and we were going to get off, but the doors closed. And then we got stuck about this far between in front of the second floor. So we
And you
hung
were stuck
out
there for an hour and a half.
an hour and a half. We hung out, we talked.
Play any cards?
I wish we had cards.
Play
That
strip
would've
poker or
been-
something, man?
Well, I said, wouldn't it be funny if by the time they open the doors, they come out, I have nothing but my tie on.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. You said this to your boss, huh?
But he's a good guy, and
Well, that could be very stressful. I mean, this is you're the new guy on the block.
Well, let
you
me
got a
tell
boss,
you.
you might have. I guess you only heard good things about your boss, right? You didn't hear.
Oh, yeah,
Boy,
no.
that guy is a tyrant, man.
No,
You didn't
no,
mention that,
everybody
did you?
loves Doug.
Okay.
no, but he's a good
Does
guy.
he know we do this show?
Not now.
Okay.
I'm sure he's going to find out. No, but we it was an interesting experience being there. But now, unfortunately, I'm the elevator guy now.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me because I'm the brand new employee that not only got stuck in the elevator, but got stuck in the elevator with the boss.
You tell any jokes during this time?
No.
Okay. Did he
None
tell
that
you
we
any
could
jokes?
repeat on this family program. No.
Okay.
But it's funny because people, when you hear people talking about the story, they don't know who I am, and then they talk about Doug being stuck in the elevator. Like, I'll give you an example. You have to do a timesheet, right?
Yep.
And you have little codes for everything.
Yeah. What's the code for stuck in an elevator?
Somebody asked me. My other boss asked me. I asked him, what am I posting my time to? He says, well, post the elevator time to this. But it was just silly stuff. But I tell you what, it's a nice place. It's a nice group of people. And
All I can think of is that song by Aerosmith, "Loving an Elevator."
no, that's
No,
not
okay. So, I know we're talking about the baseball. Well, we're talking about the the Major League Baseball getting ready to start, and we're going to talk about St. Louis
Right.
to start out. But, hockey is in full swing. The
Yep.
Islanders continue to... Actually, they went on a 9-game road trip that concludes tonight. And you know what the record is on this road trip, Disco?
What is it?
5-3.
You know, if you had
And
signed
so they could
up,
wind up 6-3.
if you
That's
had
a pretty good
signed
road
up
trip.
for, if you had signed up for 11 points,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is because even though they had a loss, it was an overtime loss, so they still got a point out of one of those losses. The 2 games that they lost were big blowouts, but
Yeah, they lost
you know,
7-0 to Columbus.
if you had signed up for, 18 possible points,
Yeah.
right? If you had signed up for 12 or 13 points,
They are playing good, but Toronto is hanging right with these guys right now.
Yes, but the thing is,
there's a little separation now between the Flyers and actually the Devils. Boy, they've lost 8 in a row now or something, man.
and even though the Maple Leafs are only 1 point behind the Islanders, the Islanders have 2 more wins than them, so that's the first tiebreaker.
And I think Boston, Boston is in third, but I mean that switches from time to time. Next thing Toronto will be up there, and it'll be Boston that'll be nipping
Right,
at
because
the
they're
Islanders'
fighting. They're fighting
for the third playoff spot in that division.
Right, and the problem with that seems to be that if they don't make the division, they're not making the wild card.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with them, because right now, you look at the Rangers. The Rangers are 13 points ahead of the Islanders, yet they're a wild card team.
I know.
That's just not right.
Exactly.
Maybe they shouldn't do the top 3 teams in every division.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
I'd
take the
have to
top 2
reconsider that, I
teams
think,
or something.
at some time.
Because, you put the Islanders into that division, and they're in the number 3 seed.
Yeah.
Or the number 3 spot. They're not even in a wild card spot. But it's nice to see them playing well.
Yes, I can't say I was ever a Jack Capuano fan. I didn't think he was the reason why they won or lost, But Doug Waite's got them playing pretty good hockey right now. He really does.
How was that? We had a friend of ours who was down in Miami yesterday, and he was actually at the World Baseball Classic game.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get a hold of him, but we didn't think it was a touch and go thing, so we weren't sure if we were going to get a hold of him. But what do you think of this whole thing, this whole World Baseball Classic thing?
The thing, it takes away from spring training here. There's a lot of Major League ball players that are playing. I think a lot of the Mets opted out, I think, is what has happened. But,
Noah Syndergaard opted out.
One of the things I read is, why are they doing this at the same time that spring training is starting? Why don't they do it in the Winter Olympics or something like that, or do it, off season and play it indoors or something?
Well, the other thing is where in this. I was talking about this with a couple of people at work.
On the elevator?
We talked about a lot during the elevator, but we didn't talk about this. No.
Okay.
But the question is, where in the schedule would you put it?
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking to Jimmy Baseball about this last week when we were at hanging out with for my birthday party, and we were talking about how if you did it during the middle of the year, you would still have the same. I think the problem is that
Well, you got to play it off season. I think it's what you got to do, and of course that's a problem too, because pitchers are burnt out and stuff. Guys.
I mean, you're talking about a tournament with 16 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than the USA team, which has probably
Now,
a
are all these
handful
games? All these games aren't being played down in Miami, though, right?
No,
I mean,
no,
they
they're
gotta
being
be
played all
on
over the
different
world.
continents
They're being
or whatever,
played.
right?
They're being played in Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
They're being played in South Korea. I do not know where.
Seoul, I see Tokyo, I see Miami, and Jalisco, or
Where
whatever
is
the heck
that?
that is.
We don't
Look
know
that
where
up.
it is.
Come on, man. Get on the stick.
But anyway,
Jalico.
yeah. So at any rate, you think about it and you say,
Mexico. Okay.
Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
We are going to build a wall. Okay, and charge admission. Okay,
So, but the thing is, if you, if when you have a sport like hockey,
Yeah.
or basketball, okay, or any of the other, Olympic type sports,
Yeah.
Everybody is playing together. Everybody is the risk is the same for everybody on the team, okay. When you talk about baseball, there's a difference between pitching and hitting.
Yeah.
Okay? The risk for the pitchers is much greater than it is for the hitters and the fielders. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem, is that where do you fit the pitchers in? The pitchers have a limited number of, they don't count how many, I know they count how many minutes skaters skate or how many minutes they play in a basketball game, but it's not limited. They don't try and limit that. In today's game, they limit the innings a pitcher can pitch. You've got teams, that don't have major leaguers on them, that their pitchers could pitch the whole game.
Yeah.
The major league pitchers, I don't believe, could pitch more than 2 or 3 innings at a time.
Why is that? Because
the Major League Baseball says no.
Oh.
Let's face it. If you had Noah Syndergaard in the USA team, you want him pitching 8 innings?
Why not?
Today?
Why not?
Well, just
today.
saying. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But even if you did it, let's say at the All-Star break, let's say they took a 2-week All-Star break.
Is that how long it takes? 2 weeks to
No, but I'm just saying.
complete the
Let's just say they
competition?
took a 2-week break and they did it during
Yeah.
during the All-Star break. Do you want Noah Syndergaard pitching 2 games?
No, of course I don't. Of course I
Right?
don't.
So where would you fit it in? At the end of the season, they're already exhausted. Before the season, they're not ready.
Yeah.
Unless you have spring training, and then you have this tournament, and then give everybody a week to, I don't know. I don't see where you fit it in. It just doesn't make sense for
How
baseball.
about we don't do the baseball classic? We just worry about Major League Baseball
Well,
because
that's what's
we are
happening.
going to make America great again. Okay.
I will build a great wall
Okay.
on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
But then nobody would be able to get back. You have those teams, Italy, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and Mexico. Any players that are playing for that team won't be able to get back.
There we go. It's not a bad idea.
All righty.
All right.
You know what? Enough of this nonsense.
Let's take a short break.
When we get back, it's going to be time to start the baseball extravaganza. I don't have the exclamation point there.
I know you do.
As Jake Krebs will join us on the Glory Days hotline to talk about his St. Louis Cardinals. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Yeah. I think he was in the basement. Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce the Disco here on the Inravio TV network. For the first time in the last 5 years, the St. Louis Cardinals were on the outside looking in as they missed the postseason by one lousy game, falling just short of the Giants and the Mets for one of the two National League wildcard spots. Not only that, but they had to watch from the comfort of their living room as their most hated rival, the Chicago Cubs, won the World Series for the first time since 1908. And just 10 days ago, our next guest and his wife welcomed their first child into the world, and I don't believe either of them has had any sleep since Keegan came into the world. Please welcome back to the show the bleary-eyed Jake Krebs. Do we have him? Ooh. We're still trying to get him, so somehow... you know what?
He was in the basement?
I think he was in the basement. Let's see what's going on.
All right.
Nothing but voicemail.
All right, nothing but net. And I was going to ask him, did he have a
Here,
boy or a girl?
We're going to do something here. I'm going to text him the number.
Okay.
855-4-INRAVIO, right? The
We
technology.
Do you know if he had a boy or a girl?
It was a boy.
A boy.
We're going to have him call.
All right.
Look at that. Technology is wonderful.
Like being stuck in an elevator.
It's like being stuck in an elevator. You know, you would think that, by the way, I want you to know when you get stuck in an elevator,
Yeah.
nothing works.
Yeah, nothing works.
There's a phone, there's a button to press for the phone.
In case of an emergency?
That didn't work.
Really?
You know what worked? The bell.
Yeah.
You know, you hit the button and the bell goes on. The bell kept, well, you could have the bell go on, but that doesn't do anything. If you walked past an elevator and you heard a bell, what would you do?
I'd probably go and investigate. Why is the bell ringing?
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
You would just
No,
keep walking.
come on, man.
Because you're too busy of a person to investigate.
No, I'm inquisitive.
So, at any rate, well, you know what? We could start talking about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah. What do you know about them?
I don't know anything about them. No.
As I was driving home yesterday and thinking about them, I would have said what you said in the intro. There is that they usually make the postseason, so it was kind of surprising that they didn't make the postseason last year, and they were out by one lousy game, which is tough.
Gee, you know what? When you think about the Cardinals, I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago we had Jonathan Mulford on.
Yeah.
Right, and we were talking about what a great organization the Cardinals are, and when you think about success and stuff like that, you think about St. Louis. If I were a ball player, okay, I think that's one of the places I would like to go play.
Well, I mean, you always talk about the Yankees are the team that's got the most championships, but the second team is always the Cardinals, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, and you know what? They're an organization that you don't hear a lot of bad things about, other than the fact that they got caught
hacking
the Houston Astros database.
You think that was on WikiLeaks? I don't know.
He's definitely having, by the way, he just texted me, he's having phone problems. He's going to try a different phone.
Okay, maybe try a landline.
He's going to try a landline. That would be good.
There you go.
But anyway, this is the organization that you don't think. I mean, now last year they had two big pieces of their team, John Lackey and Jason Hayward, both left as free agents to the Cubs, right? And even though they wound up finishing 17 games behind the Cubs, you got them. Look at that!
Wow,
technology is a wonderful thing.
Jake, how are you, my friend?
Doing great, guys. Sorry about that. How we doing this morning?
All right, we're doing much better now that you showed up.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I got the.
We didn't get
the
any
little
cigars
guy.
in the mail, though. I can tell you that. You know, so what's the deal with that? Do they still do that? I'm trying to figure that out, man. You know.
Oh, a little bit, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's per standard, I guess.
So congratulations. Have you been getting any sleep?
I would say last night's, let's call it maybe 2.5 hours.
All
So
right.
I,
You only need an
if
hour
call
and a
that
half.
sleep, then yeah, I had some sleep.
You know, I wonder why they always use the thing and they say, you know, you sleep like a baby. You know, babies wake up. They wake up, they go back to sleep. They wake up, they go back to sleep. Sleeping like a baby isn't any good. But anyway, so let's talk about your St. Louis Cardinals for a minute. Are you? I mean, last year you don't make the playoffs for the first time. You had lost the two guys to the Cubs last year, and now this year you go ahead and you get the Cubs. You take the Cubs leadoff hitter, Dexter Fowler, and now you guys have a nice leadoff hitter.
Yeah, I think the impact that's going to have on the Central, I think it could be pretty impactful. I mean, Fowler, he was like a 400 on-base guy, and really kind of propelled that offense over in Chicago. Not that, you know, St. Louis was most in need, I think, of, you know, offense and that, because I think our priority maybe should have been the rotation, but I think it's big. It's definitely going to be a shift in the Central, and certainly something to look out for. We'll see how this plays out, and I think maybe more positively, just you know, the impact he's going to have in the clubhouse, because all the media guys keep saying how tense and how tough of a dugout Mike Matheny runs. You know, it's kind of a serious situation there, and he's going to be, I think, maybe the guy to loosen that up a bit and get things shaken up.
Well, you know, they led the league. They led the National League in home runs last year. They had 225 home runs, and you know, you lost Matt Holliday, who goes to the Yankees, and Brandon Moss is also a free agent. Those guys had 48 of those home runs, but you know, their pitching was just okay last year. You know, Michael Walker missed some time last year, and like you says, I think that that's one of the areas. Although, you know what, St. Louis always seems to come up with good pitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unique. I mean, you had Lance Lynn out with the surgery.
Right.
You know, the acquisition of Lance Lynn was out with the surgery, and
Right.
then Mike Leake is acquired. You know, kind of just to staple down that missing spot, and we really couldn't provide him with the defense he needed. You know, he's got that nice sinking pitch, and he induces a lot of ground balls. And right up the middle, we weren't getting him the defense that he needed for his style. So it was definitely, I think, the biggest opportunity for improvement is going to be that rotation, and just it's really kind of good, I think, iffy to see, you know, again, if Adam Wainwright comes back to form, is he going to be, you know, that 2015 guy that we saw, the near ace? There are a lot of question marks. I think if everything comes together, things could be just fine, but it's a big, you know, kind of question.
You know, you guys got to get a look at that rookie kid last year, Alex Reyes. Last year, he's a rookie pitcher. He was 4-1 last year for you guys. But we actually 2 weeks ago we got a chance to talk to a friend of ours who got drafted by the Cardinals in 2016 last year. A rookie, a kid named Jonathan Mulford, and so he's going to actually be on our show from now on. So we're shooting for him to get into get onto the major league team. He figures it'd take between 3 to 4 years for him to move up through the system. So
yeah,
that would be pretty good.
That sounds about right.
I wanted to talk about Jed Jerko. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Jerko? Okay. This guy leads the team in home runs, but where does he play? He plays everywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's really going to have to play everywhere this year because the infield it's pretty solid now as far as it seems like, you know, the projected, you know, starting infield may already be accomplished. They've already got that figured out. So he's going to be the third baseman whenever Johnny Peralta needs a little time off. He may be first base whenever Matt Carpenter needs a little bit of that time off. So it's definitely going to be kind of a moving piece, and you might even see him in the outfield, honestly, in left field occasionally. It's just going to be getting him in there, in those certain switch and double switch, situations, just trying to get that big power bat in when we can in those situations. So I'm afraid he's not going to be a starter, and it's something I think he's been pretty accustomed to, just coming in odds and ends situations. But it's going to be unique. We'll see how they kind of work that in.
Have you? Last year they had the Cardinals had their first losing season at home.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
since like 1999. Could you imagine that? Like, actually, as a Met fan, we've had a couple of let's call them lean years. We don't get the consistency. I mean, I think if it wasn't for the Yankees, people would hate the Cardinals because of their consistency and the fact that they always just seem to be there. What was it like to not see your team in the playoffs?
It was tough. I mean, I went to, I want to say 7 or 8, maybe 9 home games last year. I only saw one winner.
Wow.
So like you guys were saying, it was just a very strange year. Maybe that was a bit of a statistical oddity, but I wasn't seeing the wins at home. And then on the road, actually, they were fairly productive. The away record was pretty decent. And then for it coming down to the wire like that in the last stretch, needing to win out, which we did. Those last 3 games we did win out, kind of did our part to have the chance of that wild card spot. And then having LA go ahead and do the same thing to just kind of kick us right to the ground, it was tough. Those last, honestly, 10 games were all crucial, and I don't know. Kind of has left a bit of a knot in my stomach still to this day.
Now you have to be careful here when you answer this next question,
yes,
because your mother-in-law might be listening in.
What was it like? The Cubs fan,
yeah, what was it like to see the Cubs win the World Series?
Oh, I'll be honest, entirely honest. We were all rooting for the Cubs in this household here, and maybe even to surprise the rest of Baseball Nation. There were a pretty good number of Cardinals fans out there pulling for those Cubs. So, with the two cities being so close, I mean, physically, there's a lot of Chicagoans that reside down in our region, and even the same could be said for up in Chicago. So it's I'm not saying everybody was doing that. There were a lot of kind of bitter fans, I think, everywhere. But we here in this household, we were pulling for Chicago. I know my folks were, and a lot of people. So it was one of those things that kind of didn't feel right, but you just had to do it because they deserved it. That was a solid team, and actually one of the best teams I've seen in my days. So I was happy to see that team go all the way.
You know what they call that?
What?
A good answer.
A good answer.
Sounds like you had that well prepared, man. Like the attorney was sitting with you beforehand.
Oh boy, that's funny. So if your mother-in-law was to send Keegan a Chicago Cub jersey, would you put it on him?
This is another tricky question because
I'm not sure there's a good answer for this one. Okay.
Oh well, actually, with I don't want to throw her under the bus now here, but she is actually. I'm going to do it. She's actually gotten the little guy Cubs and Cardinals attire.
She's the best.
All right.
Yeah, she's good.
All righty, man. We got to get out of here. So one more quick note: are the Cardinals getting back to the playoffs this year? Is this the year that Chicago Cubs now they bask in that glory of finally breaking it, and they go back to not making the playoffs, or is this the beginning of kind of like a little mini dynasty for the Cubs?
Yeah, the Cubs make the playoffs again. I think I can even surely say it's probably via taking the division. I think the Cubs have the Central this year. I do believe the Cardinals make the playoffs. Hopefully, sharing up one of those wild card spots. It's just going to take a little luck. Anybody can win when you get in, and it's I think certainly doable. I'm going to say 91 wins this year, just enough to get into that that wild card spot, and maybe taking down Chicago in the first round. We'll see what happens to the NLDS.
All righty,
All right.
man. If you bring that baby to New York this year, let us know. We'll come see you.
We'll get him some Mets regalia. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If we get him a Met shirt, you could put that on and not worry about it.
That might be the fairest thing to do.
All right.
All right, Jake. Again, congratulations, you and Kylie, and we'll talk to you.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, sorry about the technology issue, guys. I'll catch you guys next
All
time.
right.
That's all right. Thanks.
Let's take another break here on the Glory Days, and when we get back, we'll bring you up to date on a few stories you might not have heard about in our Did You Hear About segment. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco on the Radio TV network. We are coming right back.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention. School band instrument rentals and sales. Music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups. For guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco here on the Inravio TV network. We here on the Glory Days Show know that you can get your sports scores and more with a click of the mouse or a swipe of the finger from any sports site on the World Wide Web. That's why we like to try to bring you, our sophisticated yet slightly twisted audience, stories that, if you were a music lover, would be considered deep tracks. The bizarre, the macabre, the slightly hard to believe. It's a segment we like to call Did You Hear About?
Very nice.
Hello.
All right.
All right. Our first story brings us to our neighbors, all the way up to our neighbors to the north. All I have to say is, what is going on in the world of youth sports? Back in December, we reported the story of a 9-year-old swimmer in the Special Olympics who was disqualified after winning a gold medal because his finishing time in the finals was ruled too fast. Okay? Turns out you can't have a time in the finals that is more than 15% faster than your time in the qualifying rounds. And young Rory Logan from Ireland was stripped of his gold medal while he was on the platform.
That's pretty dramatic, isn't it? You know, pretty traumatic, too.
Well, turns out in Canada, your performance is irrelevant unless you are wearing the proper color pants. Right? And we're not talking about the difference between, say, red and white. In this instance, it was a difference in the shade of black.
Oh, yeah? Not shades of gray.
Not shades
Not
of
50
gray.
shades of gray.
Not 50 shades,
Okay.
50 shades of gray.
I hope not.
I was thinking more about the Rolling Stones song, Painted Black.
Yeah.
Because that's what they should have done. Anyway.
Or the Monkey song, Shades of Gray. Okay. Anyway.
7-year-old Grayson Powell bowled the game of his life, 7-year-old kid, in a non-league tournament, putting up an incredible 171 to win the championship for his team. But immediately following the victory, he was disqualified because of the color of his pants. Apparently, the rule states that you must wear black pants. Okay? Powell, whose league average was just 103, was wearing black faded jeans and not pure black.
Okay.
League officials pulled aside Grayson's mother and the parents of the other 2 children on his 3-man team to inform them that the entire team was disqualified because of the color of Grayson's pants. Powell's dad, Todd, was incredulous at the decision. He said, if the pants were truly disqualifying, why not inform us before the tournament started? There was a 20-minute warm-up period that preceded the tournament. Why wait until after it was over to disqualify them? I think he's got a legitimate point there.
I think he does too.
Right? Okay. And although the Powells were well aware of the uniform rules before the tournament began, they said that they couldn't find a pair of slacks in the child's wardrobe that would be comfortable to bowl in. So they settled on a dark gray. Okay. Had they been informed during the warm-up period that his son would be disqualified or at least not allowed to compete, Powell felt that his wife would have been able to go out and purchase a more suitable pair of trousers. When was the last time you used the word trousers in a sentence?
Not in a long time.
Well, guess who was responsible for complaining about the pants?
Well, somebody on the team, I guess.
The opposition parents and coaches, of course. And it only came to light when Grayson's team began winning. Okay? But the director of Newfoundland's youth bowling, Gord Davis, denied that allegation, stating Grayson's team was not leading at the time and the scores were not a determining factor of making the proper decision governing the rules of the dress code. You would think, we're talking about bowling? Dress code? Grayson also said that he did not immediately bring it to the attention of the parents because he was not going to embarrass the kids by stopping play and making a scene.
All right, I agree with that. But again, what the father said is they could have let him know before the tournament started, right?
Yeah, but apparently disqualifying the team after they won the tournament was going to fly under the radar.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you thinking about? So it turns out that the 2nd and 3rd place teams were from a different bowling alley that is owned by, wait for it, Gordo Davis.
Gordo? I saw that.
But apparently, all's well that ends well. Just a few days after the decision to disqualify Grayson's team was rendered, Gordo decided to reverse his decision and award Grayson's team medals after all. He said the kids deserve to be recognized for their accomplishments, even though we could not reverse our decision because of the rules in place.
So what does that mean?
Well, Gordo added that going forward, all infractions at future tournaments will be reported before the tournament begins. Kind of reminds me about an incident that led to a rule change in Major League Baseball when Billy Martin challenged the bat of George Brett after he hit a home run because of too much pine tar.
I remember that.
The rule was changed the next year that any challenge to the illegal use of equipment, bats, gloves, helmets, needs to be made before it's being used.
I see. It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
That's crazy, though.
It's crazy because of the fact that first of all, we're talking about kids.
Yeah.
First of all, do you know any 7-year-old kids that even have black pants? Doesn't everybody wear jeans nowadays?
I don't know any 7-year-old kids. I don't think right now.
Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they allow them to wear shorts? It's a kids tournament.
Yeah.
Do actual bowlers have to wear black pants?
See, me, I would never worry about it. I'd say, I'm colorblind, man.
But you can see black, right?
I only see shades of gray. Is all I see.
That's true. So you
like a
wouldn't
dog.
know.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right, story number 2 brings us a little closer to home, right across the Verrazano Bridge and into the landfill known as Staten Island here in New York. The Staten Island Yankees, the Class A farm team for the New York Yankees, and the New York Penn League have decided to postpone their search for a new name. Back in September, the Baby Bombers, who play in the same league as the Mets Class A team, the Brooklyn Cyclones, sought the fans' help in picking a new name for the team. They were given a list to choose from, which included these 5 finalists. The Bridge Trolls. I don't think I like that one too much. The Heroes. The Killer Bees. The Pizza Rats, or the Rock Pigeons. Boy, none of those are good names.
Those are the top 5, by the way.
Kind of reminds me of the presidential election. Unfortunately, the team was unable to get all the legal and league approvals done in time for the 2017 season, so the name change has been taken off the table for now. We were prepared to move forward, but encountered obstacles that unfortunately delayed the process beyond industry deadlines. Staten Island Yankee president Will Smith. Will Smith, huh?
Will Smith, I was wondering if he was wearing his Men in Black
I wonder if he got
glasses.
jiggy with it. Okay. He said in a statement, these delays also would have compromised the quality of the product we aim to bring to our fans.
So changing the name of the team would have compromised the quality of the product.
Yes. But we are going to make America great again. Just remember that. Although they have affectionately been known as the Baby Bombers since 1999 and are the first stop for many future Yankees that are looking for a new identity that is more reflective of being from Staten Island, they still feel they can get the name change done in time for the 2018 season. More than 2,000 fans submitted their preferences. Why those specific names, you ask?
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Why those specific names?
This is what the team released regarding the finalists.
So the team
Yes.
came up with a reason. So the team came up with the names. That's what got me. It's not that they asked the fans to give us names.
Yeah.
This is the name that the teams came up with and asked the fans to vote on.
Boy.
Right?
That's like the presidential election. I mean, you know.
So,
Let's have
okay.
some write-ins.
So let's go through them one at a time. here.
Okay.
Okay.
Bridge Trolls communicates the iconic bridge that connects Staten Island while embracing the kind of wacky names minor league baseball is famous for.
Do you know I have a poster?
Yeah.
I have a pennant for the Adirondack Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks, okay.
It was a great
Bridge
name
Troll,
for a team.
though. Bridge Troll.
Bridge
I don't know.
Troll.
Yeah.
We don't have the monitor's not working,
Yeah.
but you should have seen the nice picture of a bridge troll I found.
Oh, yeah? All right. Heroes. That honors the civil servants and military personnel of Staten Island.
That makes sense, right? I mean, that to me would be a...
All I was thinking about was a sandwich when I heard this. Heroes, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's hero without the E at the end.
Well, it's like potato? I don't know. Killer Bees. Now, I like this one, okay? It pays tribute to the Staten Island musical and cultural impact like the Wu-Tang Clan.
The Wu-Tang Clan, they're from Staten Island.
Are they?
That's what they
The
told me.
fans will be buzzing over the possible promotions.
You know, if it's...
Are
if
you a
it's
big
on the
Wu-Tang
winter-
Clan
Well, didn't
fan?
Didn't we have a story about the Wu-Tang
did.
Clan member who was going to cut off his member?
His Wu-Tu? I don't know. All right. And the final one, like I said, this is the one I guess, is this the final one?
No, there's one more
Okay,
after
all
this.
right, Pizza Rats. New Yorkers know that rats are tenacious, enterprising, and know where they get the best food in the city. A rat? I
A
don't
rat,
know,
a
man.
pizza rat. I think, although I would really like to see what that logo turns out
Yeah.
to be. That, by the way, from what I understand, was the top rated thing. The Pizza Rats.
Wow.
Because if
Well,
you-
again, the choices weren't very appealing. And then here's the last one, the Rock Pigeons. This bird celebrates Staten Island, known by the locals as the Rock.
There is such a thing, by the way, as the rock pigeon.
Do you know how Staten Island got its name?
No.
It's
Is
a
this
guy,
real?
guy was
Or did you
standing.
find this on the...
No, I did some research on this, right? There were two Jewish guys standing over in
Two
New
Jewish
Jersey.
guys walk into a bar?
And they were standing on the shore of New Jersey. I goes, is Staten Island? I don't know. All right. Yeah.
Wait, there's
All
more.
right. Oh, good. Okay. Although the Pizza Rats is the fan favorite so far, if they really want to convey the essence of Staten Island, why not consider some others like Bridge Jumpers, Traffic Nightmares, or the Fresh Kills Stink Bomb?
I like that one.
Fresh Kills? You got Arthur Kills there? I don't know.
There's a whole bunch of kills.
Yeah, there is.
Remember Staten Island was.
I think
used to
that's
be
where
a-
Jimmy Hoffa really wound up. I'll tell you what, it's in Staten Island.
They're never going to find him there anyway.
Yeah,
but I
that's
mean,
right.
if you were going to put him with all the garbage and stuff, they, I understand. Well, like the Met farm team.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Well, the
not called the
Cyclones-
Brooklyn Mets. It's
Yeah.
called the Brooklyn Cyclones.
That's right. I mean, and they're the field is right over there on what is that?
in Coney Island.
In Coney Island. That's right.
Right,
That's,
it's
that's
right
where the
there.
Cyclone is. Cyclone is right there.
So it's a good thing. But I would think that I think of those 5 names, I think I would have voted for Pizza Rat.
Pizza Rats. They should have been
Pigeons
better.
is
I mean,
stupid.
Disco. They should have been better choices,
If
though,
you
don't you think?
But if you think of pigeons,
Yeah.
what do you think of? Poop.
Yeah.
I think of pigeons drop. What would their logo be? A pigeon flying and dropping things onto the stands?
I don't know. How about Yo Adrian? No, I guess that's.
that's Philly.
Yeah, that's Philly. That's Philly. I guess I'm thinking more of that scene. I guess in Saturday Night Fever where they're on the bridge.
They're on the
right?
Verrazano Bridge. Well, that's what they're famous for. Both Brooklyn and Staten Island. are
jumpers?
both famous for
For jumpers. Okay.
the bridge jumpers. That's a pretty good name.
Yeah, that's that. I like that one better. Of course, I'll never forget the time we were. We visited our friend Zinke over in Staten Island, and your cousin Anthony Laurie drove.
Yes.
And we made so many. We went over the bridge 3 times before we got off that bridge. I'll tell you that. We got off. We got back on. We go right, left, right. Yeah, okay, right. Boom.
He was not paying attention.
I know he was not.
That's the last time I ever drove in a car with him. Or I let him drive a car.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
We're going to take another break here on the Glory Day Show, and when we get back, we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. So what did we learn today?
I learned that not all the phones in St. Louis work.
Yeah. It's good that we had a backup plan there, and I'm glad.
And they don't work in Miami either, apparently. So today was a difficult technology day.
And I tell you, I think Jake was well schooled in what he needed to say when you asked him about the Cubs.
I'm surprised his mother-in-law didn't call in.
Now, one of the things we didn't talk about, and our whole show was dedicated to it last week, was the preview of the Oscars, right?
The Oscars. Did you get to watch any of it?
I did not. I as much as I guess I didn't want to, I didn't. I mean,
Well, I was in Florida.
Yeah.
So we had gotten home, and the thing went till after midnight.
Did it?
So I was watching. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I really do. I like Jimmy Kimmel a lot. So watching the thing, and then all of a sudden they get to the. By the way, let's just real fast go through. Okay. So best supporting actress was Viola Davis.
Yeah.
We both.
And you guys
picked,
both predict
right?
that. Yep.
Best Supporting Actor was Mahershala Ali, who Tommy Gatto picked. I did not pick that. I thought it was going to be the guy from Manchester by the Sea. We both picked Emma Stone from La La Land.
Yeah.
And I picked Casey Affleck. He didn't. He said his boy Denzel was going to win.
Where's that Best Supporting Actress? Who won that?
Best Supporting Actress was Viola Davis.
Even though I said that I was going
No, that was Best Actress. You thought Natalie Portman.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Just want to get that plug in for her, that's all.
And the director of
La La Land.
So if you didn't see the Oscars, right, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, who were Bonnie and Clyde, 50 years ago that movie was, right? They came out, and I thought that Warren Beatty was drunk. Okay, it's the last thing of the night. He's 70-something years old now, you know, and he was fumbling and fumfering. And so he goes to open the envelope, and he says, the Academy Award goes to, and he pauses, and he looks back at it, and he says, the winner is...
Me! No, okay.
And Faye Dunaway's getting mad at him. She goes, oh, Warren, come on and read it. So he hands it to her. And she says, La La Land. And all the guys from La La Land come up, and everybody...
Including Kramer?
Right, so everyone's there, right? And all of a sudden, I'm watching it, and I says, oh, great, because we both picked La La Land, right? And all of a sudden, I'm looking up, and on stage, there's this short little guy wearing a headset and a microphone, and he's going like this, going, no, no, no. And the next thing you know, you hear the guy from La La Land say, wait a minute, we didn't win, Moonlight won. And he says, I'm not kidding, this is not a joke, Moonlight won.
Right.
Right? And all of a sudden, they bring the Moonlight guy. So it turns out that it wasn't that he read the wrong thing.
They gave him the wrong envelope.
They gave him the wrong envelope because your former company.
I know, PwC. I saw that. I was mortified.
Your former company gave them the wrong envelope because apparently they have duplicate envelopes on both sides of the stage because they're not sure which side is going to come out. But it just goes to show that actors do not know what to do. They can't ad lib. Now, all he had to do, because his thing said Best Actress Emma Stone, La La Land, right? All he had to do was when he opened the envelope say, hey, I got the wrong envelope because this says Emma Stone.
That's right.
Instead, he didn't know what to do.
Well, he knew he knew that basically La La Land did not win, though. Okay, but Faye Dunaway, she ain't too smart either, man. Okay?
No, she just
because it would have said Emma Stone, right?
It said Emma Stone, La La Land. She just saw La La Land and said La La Land, and she has been incognito.
Now let me ask you a question: who do you think they voted for in this election? Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, I just wonder who they voted for.
So at any rate, it made for, and you know, they said to Jimmy Kimmel, they said, did you set this up? Was this a stunt?
Yeah.
He says, no. He says, I would. He says, if I was doing it as a stunt, he says, when they opened the envelope, he said, it would have been a Kohl's gift card.
Yeah, but the same thing happened to Steve Harvey, right? Fairly recently, right?
Yeah, but Steve Harvey read the wrong name.
Who did he vote for? He thought he voted for Clinton, but he voted for Donald Trump by accident. I don't know.
All right.
You know.
Are we over? Oh, we're still there. All right. So at any rate. All right. So let's say thank you.
Okay. I did want to say one thing, though. Okay. As we were talking off camera, I was doing a little research. I wanted to ask Jake how Robin Tejada worked out with the St. Louis Cardinals, you know, the ex-Met.
That's right.
And turns out he's playing for the Yankees now, which I didn't know.
You know who else is on the Yankees?
Who?
Jonathan Neese.
Oh, is he?
Jonathan Neese. So, we're not talking about Jonathan Neese?
Why
it's
not?
only your Yankees. It's because our producer is a Yankee fan.
So he doesn't like, you don't like Jonathan Neese then, or what? He's hiding now. I don't get it. Okay.
Jonathan Neese is loathable.
Loathable? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know that. That's why he's not with us anymore.
So why did the Yankees sign him?
Because the Yankees don't know what to do anymore with their pitchers.
Apparently, we like getting all the Mets scraps. We got Tejada, we got Neese. Who's next?
Beltran,
we're gonna go after Harvey in free agency and throw $300 million at him.
You might as well.
There's been some moves in the NFL too.
Yeah.
And the Jets are looking for a quarterback, and I hope it's not Jay Cutler. I can tell you that, man. That would be a big mistake.
You know,
I hate Jay Cutler.
The Patriots
Yeah.
give up a number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And they get Brandon Cooks. A lot of guys going all over the place. Maybe we should talk about that next week. We'll talk about some of the
We should have talked about it this week. We had a little time, you know.
All right.
All right.
Enough of this. Thanks to our producers, Anthony Mazzallo and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. Thanks to Jake Krebs for joining us today and getting us started on our 2017 baseball extravaganza. Next week, we'll hear from Mark Hogan on the Cincinnati Reds and Bill Chandler about the Atlanta Braves. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week and being allowing us to bring you this type of quality program. And of course, thanks to all of our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days on-demand page at www.inravio.com, and you can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Inravio TV network. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.